Hi guys, this is Dimitri Pergamonic with MarketChameleon.com. I'm going to show right now an example of how to use the earnings stock pattern screener. Really, we know that whether you trade stock or options around earnings, it gets a little bit more volatile and trading can be more lucrative, but you want to use your data to help you out and give you some guidance on all the different possibilities that could occur. So what we do is we look at the historical stock performance around earnings, either before, during, or after, to look for certain opportunities. This here is an example of how the stock behaved around earnings. And I'm just going to show an example. And after that example, I think you guys will get the gist of it and see how to use it. So I'm going to look for stocks that had a historical run up going into the earnings. And I'm going to pick a time frame over here starting 2 weeks before earnings. And this is a hold period of 2 weeks before and getting out the day before earnings. So this excludes the day of the event. I'm also going to choose a win rate over here of above 70%. So I'm looking for stocks that ran up and I want a 70% win rate so that we see that it had more times that it went up than down. Another thing I'm going to set over here is the average return. So for that 2-week period, on average in the last 12 quarters, I want at least an average return of 1% or higher. I'm also going to set the median return of at least 1% because we know the average could get skewed either up or down because of some outliers. So I'm going to set that median return to at least 1%. Then I'm going to go ahead and stop here and just start sorting by the highest win rate. Another thing I like to do is look at a high market cap stock. So I'm going to filter out 20 billion, market cap of 20 billion or more. And then I'm going to take a look at the results over here. So reading it from left to right, I'm looking at, this is the symbol, market cap. This is the time frame we chose. So we chose 2 weeks, starting 2 weeks before the next earnings, getting out the day before. Here's the number of observations, last 12 quarters. The win rate, 92%. That means 92% of the time out of the last 12 quarters, the stock went up in that 2-week period. The average return for the stock has been for that 2-week period positive 1.5%. The median return 2%. This is the best return. This is the worst return out of those 12 quarters. These are the absolute averages. So this is converting all the returns to positive, and this is for people who like to trade options and look at the magnitude of the moves, the absolute magnitude of the moves. Over here, this is the standard deviation. So this is the standard deviation of the returns around this average. And then what we do here is have the Sharpe ratio. So the Sharpe ratio is taking that average return and dividing it by the standard deviation to get that Sharpe ratio, right? So the higher the Sharpe ratio, the better it is because the higher return for the less risk. Over here is the next earnings date, days to the next earnings, and the next time to start. So another thing you could do over here is pick, if you like these settings, take a look and see if there are any opportunities in the next 5 days. Next 1 day, nothing. Next 5 days, a couple show up. And if you like this strategy, you could also just filter by stock groups like S&P 500, Dow Jones, any of these. You could also take only things in my watch list, either all your watch lists or any particular one. And then if you like this strategy, what you could do is just come over here, save this strategy, give it any name you want. 2-week run up, for example. You hit save, so the next time you come back, it'll be in here. And you could just pop it up, and every day you could just take a look if there's any opportunities coming up. Of course, you don't only have to set, you could do any type of time frame or set any, so it just gives you any time frame. And if you're looking for specific parameters like maybe 2% returns, a higher Sharpe ratio, it'll just keep narrowing it down. Of course, you could also download it. And this narrows down your list and also allows you to go in there and pick some stocks and then do a deeper analysis by going to that individual symbol and diving deeper into it and looking at it more deep historical analysis. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and talk to you guys later.